And she's here along with a great employer and friend, probably. So in the call today, we have a few people joining us via Zoom. We have Dalton, who is our ESGR state representative. And we have Paul, I'm not gonna say his last name because I'll butcher it. He is an ESGR rep in North Dakota. And we also have Colonel Derek Kuntz, who is Xavier's battalion commander. So will have an opportunity in a little bit here to say a few comments, but wanted to let you know who's all here. Okay, so first off, I wanted to present you with the official certificate, which Sydney has nominated you for a patriotic employer for contributing to national security and protecting the liberty and freedoms by supporting employee participation in America's National Guard and Reserve Forces. I'll leave that up there so nice. Okay. And then I'd like to read you what Sydney wrote. Have you read this yet? No. This yet? Okay.
I think we might have lost him, Jeanette.
No, I think they muted.
There.
Yep. Oh, Jody, you guys muted your phone.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, now we can hear you.
Yep. All right, so we'll continue. My boss, Julie, the owner of Wax the City in Grand Forks, has been nothing but kind, empathetic, and loyal. Just about a year ago now, my husband left for basic training in AIT, and my whole world fell apart. In complete tears and trembling hands, I had to tell my boss that I wasn't ready to come back to work post my husband's departure. So a month went by of me finding my new norm and feeling better before returning to work. Julie supported me on every part of the journey. She would check in with me weekly and respected if I needed more time. Recently, my husband has left on deployment, and anybody who knows anything about the military knows that you never know what is going on just about until it happens. So dates and events kept changing, and Xavier's schedule regarding his military duties, and Julie has always been so willing to help move things around so that we could make it work. It is tough when one week I tell her set dates and then those dates change. But that is just how it goes in being part of a military family. I think Julie is more than deserving of such an honor. She truly cares for me and all of her employees. Not everybody gets that out of their employer. And I feel extremely grateful to be part of someone who does. So very, very nice. Yes. And from the statements that Cindy wrote, I know that you are truly a good person and a truly good boss. And that's, as she mentioned in her statements with the military, on Monday, they say we're leaving Wednesday, and then Tuesday comes, no, we're leaving Friday, and it's just forever changing. And we're all adapting and just trying to go with the flow. So we also have here, and this is a statement that Cindy wrote, you're also here, you can read at your convenience, a letter to you from our state chair, Dalton, who's on the Zoom, and then also a letter from our national chair, both of them just thanking you for being a patriotic employer, taking care of your employees and their service members or their spouse, wherever it might be, during times of military duty. And then lastly, we have a statement of support. And we're hoping that once you sign and date it, you can put it in a frame and you'll hang it on your wall with all your other mini awards and certificates and all of that for the girls. So I'm just gonna read through this a little bit just so you kind of know what you're contesting to. So by signing this statement of support, you pledge to fully recognize, honor, and comply with ERISA laws, will provide their managers and supervisors with the tools they need to effectively manage employees who serve in the Guard and Reserve, appreciate the values, the leadership, and unique skills that service members bring to the workforce, and will encourage opportunities to hire Guard, reservists, and veterans. And lastly, that you will continue to recognize and support our country's service members, their spouses, and their families in times of peace, crisis, and in war. And I think from what I've read in the statements that you're already doing all these things. So it should be easy to sign and date and hang on your wall. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Any comments from Dalton, Paul, or Colonel?
Let's turn it over to Colonel Kuntz first, and then I'll let Paul go, and then I'll finish her up, Jody.
All right.
Hi, Julie. Congratulations on your recognition today. Definitely well deserved. We certainly appreciate your support that you give to Xavier and his wife Sydney. You know, without support like you give us, we wouldn't be able to do our mission. You know, we always say we recruit soldiers, but we retain families. So obviously, by you helping take care of Sydney in Xavier's absence, that definitely helps us with our overall mission. So definitely a lot of gratitude and appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to you, Paul. You're on mute yet, Paul.
I'm so sorry.
After 2 years.
That's okay.
Easy to do. Am I there now?
You're there. You're here with us.
Okay. It never ceases to leave me. And when I remember the years I was an employer and I was the one saying, oh, it's all right with the schedules, realizing how really difficult that is and how much I admire today hearing employers who are willing to make those kind of sacrifices and changes for the people that are our service members, and to do so willingly. Totally appreciating how difficult that is. Thank you. Thank you very much for waxing the city.
Nice pun. Yeah.
Boy, that's hard to follow that. Get an advertisement in there and everything. So anyway.
That's right.
Well, I don't know if Sydney's there. Is she out behind the camera, or can Sydney get in there? There you go. So anyway, you know what? I've been the state chair. I've had the honor of being the state chair for employer support of the Guard and Reserve for 4 years now. And for me, this is a first. Normally, the nominations for Patriot Awards come from our service members. But I think this is the first time, and Jeanette, correct me if I'm wrong, but in my 4 years, I think this is the first time we've had a spouse nominate their boss because of the support provided to Sydney, to Sydney here in this case. So first of all, Sydney, thank you so much for doing this. This is just absolutely awesome. And Julie, keep waxing the city up there. And but anyway, thanks for your support of Sydney, because you know what? So often, I think that's the thing about it. You know, we all recognize the service members and what they're having to go through when they're deployed so often, but they always leave behind a family. And, you know, and that is so darn important that we remember the family side of the equation, and that when you have an employer who recognizes the spouse of one of our service members and what they're having to deal with, that is so very meaningful. So, Julie, thank you so much for that support and for what you do. And Colonel Coates, you are a dedicated supporter, and always when we have awards from service members or their spouses that are related to your battalion, you're always here for us. Thank you so much for what you do, sir, and making these special, because it really makes a difference. And just a little bit, I've got to put a plug in just so you know what ESGR is about. This is my 1 or 2 minute elevator speech on ESGR. But employer support of the Guard and Reserve, just so you know, we are all volunteers with the Department of Defense. So when you see this little emblem, if you can see it on my shirt here, we're all proud to support our service members and their employers, the spouses, and their employers for what they do. But we are volunteers. Jeanette's my only paid staff member in the whole state. She's the one that she keeps us all in line and arranges all of the things, and just a great person to work with. And she's retired military as well. So she knows this firsthand, just like Jody does and what Colonel Kuntz does. And Paul and I, we've seen it from the employer's side. So it's that balance. But anyway, we've been around since 1972. We have about 50 volunteers throughout the state of North Dakota. There are 3,000 volunteers, a little over 3,000 volunteers nationally in our 50 states and 4 territories. And And again, we try to help create an environment where all employers really appreciate and support their military service members and their families. And we do that by the fun part of what we do. And that's like today, 95% of what we do, or maybe it's 98% of what we do, especially in North Dakota, is recognizing employers for outstanding support. We also provide education about the USERRA laws for both our service members and our employers. And just in case there ever is an issue between a Guard member and their employer, we provide a free mediation service. But we are so fortunate in North Dakota to have employees like you, Julie, or employers like you, Julie, that do such a great job of supporting the service member and or their spouse. So from the bottom of my heart, again, this is special. I think the first time I've had a spouse present the Patriot Award or nominate their employer, but thank you so much for what you do. Sydney, thank you for making this nomination and making this really special. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Jody.
All right, perfect. Thank you, gentlemen, for your comments. They meant a lot to the group here. And I think we have just a really supportive relationship that I can just see in this room. So that's wonderful to see, like they've all, I don't think I need to say anymore or any more waxing in the city, but congratulations, Julie. Thank you, Jody. Yeah, congratulations, Sydney. Thank you again for doing this. This is really special. And we'll conclude with the presentation. Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.
Awesome job, Jody. Thank you. Thank you, Colonel Kuntz. Take care, everyone.